I'd like to say something about valenceable attentionality. Now, is that understandable to a German? No, probably not. So maybe we need you. Valence is like in chemistry, or something has a valence of a certain, it's combinatory power, how many molecules and certain electrons can combine, etc. And so the best term I think attention is too nounish a word. And so attentionality with a valence, you can modulate its how it combines with or engages with what's being given attention to. For instance, that we say, when your Sukirishi would say to me, as he did, when your arms are in Gassho, there should be, or just any kind, there should be the feeling of an egg, the space of an egg in your armpit, or between your arm and your... Okay. So, yeah, you say, geez, so you can feel a little bit an egg. Well, the implied teaching is you're incubating the egg. It's not just a shape. The implied teaching is you're incubating space a little bit, because space is also a thingness. So how your arms are and how your body is actualizing and interiorizing and articulating space. So space is part of, as I said the other day, I couldn't raise my arm if there wasn't space. So space is part of the arm. In a source culture, space is part of the arm. Space is part of our body. Space, interior and exterior space. So there are unwritten teachings. There's implied teachings like, well, it's an egg, and eggs can be incubated, and okay, the way your body is incubating realization or incubating presence. And the egg is actually a space, and so you're incubating space. I mean, they could say something else other than an egg, but an egg implies incubation and implies developing a posture which awakens the body. And then, as I say, there's implied teachings, and then there's inferred teachings, like valenced attentionality. I would call it an inferred teaching. In other words, and these things really, I say these things like my mouth just says them, but it's taken me a long time to notice things, and then to notice the valence of things, the significance of things, and then to notice how significant. So it's taken me, I've been doing this more than 60 years, so it's taken me, I'd say the last 20 years before I really recognized that attentionality is actually a replacement for conceptuality. It's not just an addition to conceptuality. Conceptuality gives us shape, direction, but it's attentionality that makes things happen. And then it's valenced attentionality. That's only I thought of today. I said, how can I, the dynamic of attentionality, well, okay, valence is the word. If I say, it's important that you do Zazen. No, it's not important that you do Zazen. It's important that your body does Zazen. We're not practicing you-ness, we're practicing bodiness. So one of the inferred teachings, it's not obvious. There's nobody in Asia who teaches, hey, don't say the pronoun you. Pronoun means a name replacement. Think of it as agency. So if the schedule asks us to sit, then it's not you asking yourself to sit. So then you have to, now here's an inferred teaching, it's necessary that we have this kind of teaching, but it's not done in Japan and China because they don't need to. They don't have the same relationship to you and I as we do. I mean, Tsukuyoshi used to laugh and I'd say, my stomach hurts. He said, well, I didn't think it was someone else's. We say my stomach. And it's, well, why do we say my stomach? Well, I don't know, because it's down there somewhere. So the pronoun my isn't necessary for stomach. How do you let the body as agency make decisions? And that's part of Zazen, is you begin to discover the body's deciding to sit. You know, I think we now know, you know, if you like to jog, the body wants to jog. You can also think, geez, all these papers say in newspapers you have to jog so many times a week and then you're going to get younger or something like that. And please buy this. They usually add that. When you decide to do Zazen, what you're encountering, what works best is if you're encountering physicality. So when you sit down, when the sitting down occurs, it's not, oh, no, I'm sitting and you. No, it's just your valenceable attentionality is located fully in your physicality. But it's physicality. You really feel physicality coming into the body or as the body. And that physicality is valenced attentionality. The attentionality has a kind of, it's more present here, and now it's more present here. Now it seems to be the field of the body, and so forth. So one of the ways to really directly get a feel for this is in the Gassho. So I could leave the Gassho till next time, or maybe I'll say something about the Gassho now, because we all Gassho. So the Gassho, remember this space here, and the hands. The hands have to get to know each other. And you want to get your hands to know each other. And one of the basic practices is, is that you touch your body all over. You use your hands on your body, on your feet, around your toes, etc. It awakens the body. It begins to be kind of a familiarity. The Tibetans particularly emphasize, they have all kinds of practices around that. But your hands get to know. And then you lift your hands. Your hands are getting to know each other. Are you gasshoing because it's a position? No, you're gasshoing so your hands get to know each other. And you're gasshoing so your hands get to feel your chakras. When we bow to somebody who's walking along the path, even if you start here, you actually start at your lower chakra, and you feel you're bringing it together, and you bring it up using the heels of your hands. Bring it up through the chakras. Now, Rinzai bows at that point, and Soto lifts their hands up higher into a shared space and then bows. And you're awakening the spine at the same time. So you bring your hands up, and you're getting to know your hands. You're not like, it's not a position I'm supposed to gassho. No. Hey, I live with these hands. My whole life will be between these hands. I'm getting to know these hands. Oh, yes, look, they can touch each other. And then there's a space, some kind of space happens between the hands when you bring them together. Whoa. And then you can bring the hands up and bring this tweenness, not be and being and all that maybe just call it tweenness, this tweenness up. And then this chakra is really about where the tip of your finger should be. And you lift your arms up. And the whole thing is a movement. It's not just a position. It's a posture and a movement, including how you lift your arms away from your body and how you discover your hands. The face discovers the hands. And then this becomes a kind of point which the world, in its materiality and mentality, flows in and you flow out. It's a kind of textual point where you feel yourself in a shared text. Text means woven together in English. So there's a shared text. We're woven together in this world. How do you experience it? How do I even talk about it? Our language doesn't make it easy. But the Gassho is part of entering this textual field of shared experience that you start with sharing your left hand with your right hand and with the body as a whole. So that's Zazen each morning is a wise decision. Okay? Thank you very much.